Hi guys, my name is Anna and welcome on my channel Deutsch Up. Today I want to talk with you about the grammar topic, which is very important for all of us because we are going to talk today about perfect Zeit, also die Vergangenheitsform. Let's begin. First of all, when we are going to talk about perfect Zeitform, you should know that we are going to use this grammar form when we are going to describe an action which happened in the past. This time form is called a complicated time form because when you want to create it, you should use auxiliary verb. And there is two types of this. You can use haben, so to have, or sein, to be. And the main verb you should put in the special form, which is called Partizip 2. So right now we are going to talk with you about the Partizip 2 form for the main verb. How can you create it and what is it actually? When we are going to put our verb in Partizip 2 form, we should remember that in German language, exactly as in English language, there is regular and irregular verbs. And for the regular verbs, there is a rule which you can use. For this, you need to have a prefix ge and also the ending t, and put the basic of the word of your verb in between. So let's try to do this on the example with the word machen, to do. How you can find the base of this word? This is actually very simple. It's just a simple math. You just need to put away the two last letters, en. For example, machen, and we are taking away en, so the basic of our word will be mach. And right now let's put the prefix in front and t in the end. Gemacht. Gemacht. We can do the same with an example of kaufen, to buy something. Kaufen, we are taking away en, so the basic is kauf. Right now we are putting ge in front and t in the end. Gekauft. That's how it works. When we are going to talk about irregular verbs, it's a little bit complicated. Why? Because there is no actual rule which can help you to create this word in this form on your own. Sadly, you have to learn all of them. There is a lot of different media which can help you with this. For example, different apps. I even heard the song with all of those words. And they are known very good in German grammar as 3 forms of irregular verb. For example, essen, aß, gegessen. Schlafen, schlief, geschlafen. Gehen, ging, gegangen. Right now, let's talk about auxiliary verbs. So we have 2 forms of them, haben und sein. How to know which one you have to use? I guess we can start with sein because with them all of my students have the most problems. There is 3 different situations when you can use sein. First of them is when your main verb is actually the verb of the movement. For example, to go, to walk, to swim, to run. So like some verbs which have the moving type. So you have to get from point A to point B. You're making a movement. And some of those words are, for example, fahren, to go, to drive, gehen, to go, laufen, to run, schwimmen, to swim, fliegen, to fly, kommen, to come, fallen, to fall. The second situation when you have to use the auxiliary verb sein is when your main verb means that the object somehow changed the state. Yeah, for example, aufstehen, to wake up. So your body was in the state of sleeping, but then you woke up and right now it's active. For example, sterben, to die. So your body was alive, you were able to breathe, but sadly something happened and right now it's dead, it's not making any actions. So the state was changed. Another example can be the word einschlafen, to fall asleep. Yeah, your body was active, but then it became in the state of sleeping. You can also add to this group another verbs. For example, einsteigen, to get into the transport, aussteigen, to get out of this transport, umsteigen, to change transport, umziehen, to move, aufwachen, to wake up. And the third situation is verbs exceptions. So that's our verbs which we should use with the auxiliary verb sein, but they don't actually fit in any of those two previous situations. To those words you can add, for example, werden, sein, passieren, bleiben, gelingen, misslingen, and also some others. And right now let's talk about trennbare und untrennbare Präfixe. So you know in German language there are prefixes, trennbare und untrennbare. That's the specific part of the verb which can completely change the meaning of the verb and also in some cases go in the end of the sentence. We can make a good example on the word hören, to hear something. When we will use trennbare prefix auf and we will make aufhören, it means to stop, to give up on something, to stop doing something. When we will use untrennbare prefix ge and we will make the word gehören, it will mean to belong to somebody or something. So as you can see, those prefixes can change the meaning of the verb. But why we are talking about this right now? Because when they stay together with our verb, they are making some changes in our perfect grammar. Most of the cases is with trennbare prefixes. There is a lot of them. For example, an, ein, auf, aus. When we are having the word with those kind of prefixes, they are making a little change. How? So you know that there is a base of the word which should have the prefix ge in the beginning and also the ending t. But what we should do when the word actually has a prefix? For example, the word aufstehen. Auf is a trennbare prefix. What we should do? Actually, when we are going about trennbare prefix, the situation is pretty simple. You're just putting the prefix ge between the prefix auf and the base of the word. Das Wort stehen, the word stehen, is actually the irregular verb. And you should to learn all of the three forms of this. Stehen, stand, gestanden. And we know that gestanden, it's already the form of Partizip 2 and it has its ge prefix already. So you just need to put auf in the front of it. Aufgestanden. And if I want to say, I woke up today at 7 a.m., I will say, ich bin heute 7 Uhr aufgestanden. Why do I use bin? Because in the form of sein und aufstehen is actually the verb which means the change of the state of my body. When we are going to talk about untrennbare prefixes, there is less of them. Some of them are be, ge, zer, empf, miss. When we have the verb with untrennbare prefix, it means that this prefix won't move in any case. And actually, there is a rule. When you have the verb with untrennbare prefix, you don't put the prefix ge, which is Partizip 2 prefix. As an example, we can take the same word gehören, to belong to. So the prefix ge in the word gehören is not a Partizip 2 prefix, it's the untrennbare prefix. Yeah, there is one of them. We can make a very good example with the word vermissen, to miss somebody. If I want to say that I missed you, I will say ich habe dich vermisst. So you can see that there is no ge prefix which belongs to Partizip 2 prefixes. There is also another case when you don't need to use ge prefix. There is so-called French group of some verbs which have ending ieren. Some words like passieren, fotografieren, telefonieren, tapezieren, renovieren, etc. And with them you don't need to use ge prefix. So you are just making the change of the ending. You are just putting t. Yeah, for example, we have the word passieren. It won't be gepassiert. Or fotografieren, it won't be gefotografiert. Yeah, we don't use this prefix, and we will be just saying fotografiert, passiert, tapeziert, telefoniert. Ja, ich habe gestern mit meiner Mutter telefoniert. Kannst du mir bitte sagen, was gestern passiert ist? With passieren, I'm using ist, so sein, because passieren is actually the exceptional word. So right now, let's make some examples. For example, I want to say that yesterday I went and bought some groceries. Yeah? Ich bin gestern einkaufen gegangen. I want to say that I cleaned my room. Ich habe mein Zimmer aufgeräumt. Aufräumen, so trennbare Präfix. Aufgeräumt. Somebody made a photo of me yesterday. Gestern hat jemand mich fotografiert. And the last but not least, what actually you should do with those auxiliary verbs, haben und sein. They should to stay on the second position of the sentence, and the word which is in the Partizip 2 form should stay in the last position, as you already guessed according to the examples. When we are going to make the declination of our verbs, I mean auxiliary verbs, you should change those forms in the present time. For example, ich habe, du hast, er, sie, es hat, wir haben, ihr habt, sie, haben. Ich habe heute ein neues T-Shirt gekauft. Du hast heute ein neues T-Shirt gekauft. Er, sie, es hat heute ein neues T-Shirt gekauft. Wir haben heute ein neues T-Shirt gekauft. Ihr habt heute ein neues T-Shirt gekauft. Sie haben heute ein neues T-Shirt gekauft. And if we are going to talk about sein, it's actually the same. Ich bin, du bist, er, sie, es ist, wir sind, ihr seid, sie sind. Wir sind heute zur Schule gegangen. Sie sind heute zur Schule gegangen. Ihr seid heute zur Schule gegangen. Ich bin heute zur Schule gegangen. Du bist heute zur Schule gegangen. Und er, sie, es ist heute zur Schule gegangen. So that was it for today. And I hope that it was informative for you and you learned something new. If you have additional questions, please ask me in the comments and I will gladly answer them. I wish you to have a nice day and see you next week. Bye!